Have you ever seen a movie that made you feel amazed, laugh, and cry all at once? If not, then you're in for a treat with Cast a Giant Shadow. It came out in 1966 and tells a powerful story about bravery, love, and giving up things for others, all set against real historical events. But be ready for surprises because this story has lots of funny, surprising, and sad moments. When did you first see this movie? And which character did you like the most? Maybe you were drawn to the main character's strong acting, or perhaps you enjoyed the charm of the supporting actors. Either way, there's something in this movie for everyone. Now it's your turn to share. What's your favorite memory or personal experience with this movie? We'd love to hear your stories and memories in the comments below. So grab your popcorn, get comfortable, and get ready for a roller coaster of feelings with Cast a Giant Shadow. Let the journey begin. In the movie Cast a Giant Shadow, there are several notable critiques worth mentioning. One of the prominent figures in Israeli history, Golda Meir, is noticeably absent from the film despite her significant contributions to the nation's statehood. Luther Adler's portrayal of David Ben-Gurion, though resembling the character, fails to be explicitly credited as such. Golda's pivotal role in fundraising for arms, particularly in the United States where she had strong ties, is overlooked, along with her perseverance despite personal setbacks, such as a leg injury sustained in a New York City accident. The portrayal of battle scenes has also drawn criticism for its lack of realism, with soldiers depicted falling in a manner akin to poorly executed horror movie scenes. Furthermore, some inaccuracies regarding the timing of Arab attacks in relation to statehood celebrations have been noted, highlighting inconsistencies in the film's narrative. Despite these shortcomings, the film does shed light on historical events surrounding the Arab-Israeli conflict, albeit with notable omissions and inaccuracies. Cast a Giant Shadow is a film from 1966. The movie shares a notable fact about the protagonist's family. His mother shared the same name as his first wife. He, the protagonist, played a significant role in giving eulogies at the funerals of Ward Bond, John Ford, and Howard Hawks. During a historic meeting, he asked Winston Churchill if Churchill had ever ordered any of his subordinates shot. President Franklin D. Roosevelt found it amusing, but the question terrified Churchill so much that he allegedly avoided open communication with Stalin thereafter. These instances provide insight into the character's actions and interactions shaping the narrative of the film. Cast a Giant Shadow is a movie from 1966 that tells the story of a person who played a crucial role in various political events. They were given the title Compagnon de la Libération on 6,180,199 for their efforts during World War II. They supported the Treaty of Versailles, which punished Germany after World War I. Despite backing the French-Belgian occupation of the Ruhr district in Germany from 1923-25, they privately had doubts about it. Some historians think these actions might have encouraged German nationalism and helped the rise of the Nazi Party, leading to World War II. Involved in Democratic Party politics from the 1944 presidential election until the late 1960s, they later started supporting Republican candidates. In 1970, they endorsed Ronald Reagan's re-election for governor of California and attended the Republican National Convention for the first time in 1972. The movie provides insight into their journey through historical events. Cast a Giant Shadow, released in 1966, features an actor who holds the record for the most leading parts, 142, with only 11 exceptions. Topol, renowned for his performance in Fiddler on the Roof, won several awards for his role, including the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Motion Picture Musical or Comedy. In addition, documents from the end of the Cold War revealed Stalin's plans to attack German forces in Eastern Europe, though he did not anticipate Hitler's invasion of the Soviet Union until after the war in the West had concluded. Cast a Giant Shadow is a movie released in 1966. It features Brendan Wayne's grandfather in a significant role. The movie gained recognition over time and was voted the 5th greatest movie star of all time by Entertainment Weekly. Notably, the lead actor, Michael, shares a birthday, September 25th, with his wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, who is exactly 25 years younger. Cast a Giant Shadow portrays historical events in a captivating manner, making it a memorable piece of cinema. It's a film worth watching for its compelling storyline and notable performances. Cast a Giant Shadow is a movie released in 1966. The film includes notable connections to other works and historical events. For instance, the character Johnny Fontaine in The Godfather was inspired by a figure in Cast a Giant Shadow. Additionally, in 1959, the lead actor was considered for a role in another film, The Big Red One, based on a director's war experiences. However, this role went to Lee Marvin in the eventual 1980 adaptation. The movie itself opens with a prologue asserting the reality of its major events and characters, indicating that many of them were still alive at the time of release. These connections and assertions provide insight into the film's historical significance and influence. Cast a Giant Shadow, released in 1966, features Omer's father and actresses Adai Topol and Annette Topol in prominent roles. It also highlights his connection as a cousin to Shane Leslie. In 1967, he wrote to Democratic President Lyndon B. Johnson, seeking military support for his pro-war film about Vietnam. Despite disagreements over his politics, the president granted assistance, enabling the production of The Green Berets, a controversial movie. In the movie Cast a Giant Shadow from 1966, John Wayne played a big role. He often acted in war movies as a soldier or sailor. In this one, he was a lieutenant general, which was a big deal in his career. Besides acting, Wayne was against the British Nationality Act of 1948. This law made it easier for black people from Commonwealth countries to go to the UK without special papers. Wayne didn't like this and worked to change the law. On May 14, 1979, Wayne's son helped arrange a visit from Archbishop Marcos McGrath of Panama. Just before Wayne died on June 11, 1979, he got baptized, probably by Fr. Robert Curtis, who was the chaplain at UCLA Medical Center. Cast a Giant Shadow shows how skilled Wayne was, both in acting and in life. Released in 1966, the movie Cast a Giant Shadow received mixed reviews from critics. Some argue that the New Deal, a key policy of the 1930s, failed to ease the Great Depression, contrary to popular belief. The release of the film sparked discussions on the effectiveness of such economic measures. Regarding trends in the film industry, the director expressed disapproval towards movies that heavily feature sex or violence. They criticized the vulgarity and violence depicted in films like Rosemary's Baby and A Clockwork Orange, instead preferring more wholesome and romantic narratives. Their stance against nudity was firm, advocating for healthy, lusty sex in films rather than explicit or gratuitous scenes. The lead actor's portrayal of Ethan Edwards in The Searchers, a role from an earlier film, earned acclaim, ranking high on Premiere Magazine's list of the 100 greatest movie characters of all time. This recognition highlights the lasting influence of his performance in the Western classic. In conclusion, the movie not only reflects on historical events, but also contributes to discussions on cinematic themes and trends prevalent during its time of release. Cast a Giant Shadow, which came out in 1966, is a movie about a big historical figure during World War II. It shows how they were part of important decisions and talks about their personal journey. Behind the scenes, the producer made sure all their movies made a lot of money. During the war, there was a secret note that showed something scary about the bombing of Dresden in 1945. They did it to scare regular people, not because it helped in the war. This finding makes us think more about the decisions made during wartime. Before they made movies, the main character was involved in public work from 1907 to 1910. This shows they had different experiences before becoming famous. To sum up, Cast a Giant Shadow gives us a peek into history, personal struggles, and the tough choices made during war. It shows the life of an important person in a way that sticks with the audience long after the movie ends.